I talk to a lot of game designers, especially at places like Pixel Pop. People come up like, I'm making a game. What do I need to do to sell my game? And it's like, you need to take 3 steps backwards and first ask, why are you making a game? If you're making a game to sell it, that's a completely different set of questions than like, if you're like, I really want to make this game, so I want to play this game. Like, awesome. You can't go wrong. You can't fail. Like, because you can just make this game for you and your friends and play it infinitely, and it never needs to do anything marketable, and you don't need to worry about all that dumb stuff. You have made something that is pure and great and wonderful for you, and that is enough. Yeah. If you're making a game to sell, let's have a completely different set of conversations.
In the earlier iterations of Get With The Program, I just created, name of a card, an area to put illustration later, what the card does. Even the good and the bad programs are just simple words. And then the 1s and 0s were used for voting. And then today, now we have graphic design done by my friend Will, who did some of these good and bad programs. The 1s and the 0 cards have characters on the back. They're red and blue to match the red and blue programs to make it really clear and distinct who you're voting for. Designing games is 100% a hobby for me, but to have this as like a hobby to share with friends and kind of get into has been a lot of fun. I've play tested a lot of iterations. Every few months I'll come up with a brand new rule that I think is, world breaking, and it turns out not so much, but I spent a lot of time going back to the original set of rules. I'm not 100% happy with it. I want to tweak it until I am 100% happy with it, because if it's not a game that I'm going to play in the future, I don't really see much of a point in releasing it. I like the playtest aspect of it, getting people together, showing off rules, getting their feedback on why they like it. I think a lot of people, they eventually want to write a novel or do something like that they have their name on and gets out into the world. For me, I'm at the point now that I've been doing it for so long, I wanted to have at least one board game and share with everyone.
All right, let's test these.
During high school, I never really fit in until I found my serious snood addiction club.
I think
a bunch of snood.
My addiction to Candy Crush is actually probably...
Yes. And I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for my Candy Crush addiction or my addiction.
I think my addiction to Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And addiction to Candy Crush, and then we get rid of mine.
We play test the cards all the time. That's how we see how they're working. It's so important to do it because things that you're sure are going to work don't work, and things that you were so firmly against work, and you're like, it blows your mind. You realize people don't read punctuation or capitalization. Not everyone is a performer.
There's such a wide range of deliveries that it's we'll play tests with people and it's all monotone and no one's laughing, but they're all having fun.
There was one that was pizza, and it was all these Z's and A's and exclamation points. That was what is George W. Bush thinking about right now? And when we were playtesting in the room, we were like, pizza! And then we go and take it to playtest, and it's what is George W. Bush thinking about right now? Pizza. 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 Pizza.
This one was on computer paper. It was still medieval themed. There's the knight and the merchant instead of gangsters and stuff. Then finally we got nicer, we were putting it on cardstock. That's when it became gangster themed. A lot of what we learned from how to set up the Kickstarter was based on literally perusing and backing other Kickstarters and seeing how they put it together. Road to Infamy, we finished the design of the game and we're pretty much ready to go. We knew the next steps were to get the kind of marketing materials together. That was shoot the videos, get the design for the Kickstarter campaign down, and try and get some reviews for the board game so that day one, when the page was up, people could see that it's been reviewed or previewed already, and everything looks in place and ready.
When I'm looking at Kickstarter, if their video has terrible audio or it's just them with their webcam, I'm just nope, I don't take this seriously.
How do you take a city? It's about using the right people.
I'm really glad we put that together. As we've gone through the process and learned more about what type of people
back games on Kickstarter, it's usually not people who are brand new to the board game space.
I think having the video just adds so much legitimacy.
Absolutely.
Be able to trust you as a game designer, like, oh, these guys are serious. If they put this much time into a video, hopefully that means they're actually going to make a good game and deliver it on time.
Absolutely.
When you just have a guy talking to his webcam, you're like, I don't know if you're actually going to make this game.
Right.
Do you care enough if you don't care about the quality of your pitch?
Right, yeah. Everything on that Kickstarter page kind of is a callback to how you will perform on the game.
When I entered the board game industry, it was as a hobby. I had a full-time job, and I didn't expect or think it would become anything more than that. The viticulture campaign raised $65,000, which is a lot of money, but all of that money was going towards making the game and shipping the game. My next campaign was for Euphoria, and it was much bigger. It raised over $300,000. I thought maybe this could be more than just a hobby. And I was, at the same time, I was loving what I was doing. I was loving the logistics. I was loving the business side of running a board game company, and I was loving the design side of it. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, if I'm loving this, why not try to do it full time or do more of this compared to my day job? So at that point, I went to my boss, my full-time job, which was at Washington University. And I said, could I start to take off one day a week? Could I work a little bit less? You can pay me 20% less, and I'll still do everything that I already did. I think I cut one responsibility from my job. And he agreed. And so for the next 6 months, I worked Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday. And on Wednesday, I just worked from home and worked Stegmaier games. And I continued to realize that I really loved doing it and that I wanted to do more of it. And so after we successfully fulfilled the Euphoria campaign, so after all that money we earned, we spent it and we still had some left. And we had other projects in motion and international partnerships lined up. Like, I had a little semblance of security. And at that point, I decided to take the next step and make Stegmaier games my full-time job.